take you to what we said about the US and what the US is trying to achieve, and then I'll go why the military move. And the US has some interest, and it needs to be said. And I said it on a couple of occasions, and I don't think people took it very seriously. Remember when TPLF was in power, the one excuse that they always gave for handling TPLF with the glove is because if we push them so hard, Ethiopia would collapse. Yeah, they wouldn't even bat an eye on them. Yeah, they were handling them with gloves, and they were very explicit. And I think a couple of articles have been written based on this. Yeah, 2 academic articles, in fact. Yeah, and then a few other newspaper articles. They were very explicit. They were saying that, we cannot push them that hard. 1, it's not going to get result. 2, it's going to destroy Ethiopia. Now, look at what they are doing to Abiy's government. Yeah, the kind of pressure they have put to save TPLF, it's pushing Ethiopia into disintegration. Yeah, the excuse they gave some years ago was, disintegration of Ethiopia must be prevented. Now they're pushing this country toward this disintegration. It's not because they do not know what the TPLF's intentions are. TPLF intentions are very clear. They want to emerge as a dominant force in the region at any cost, whether it's by creating a Tigray as an independent state, whether it is by controlling Ethiopia and Eritrea or disintegrating them, either, whatever the cost is, they must emerge as dominant force. That's basically the bottom line for them. Okay, what does America want within this configuration? Remember, they came out with 2 important documents some few years ago, even before 2018, the peace accord between Ethiopia and Eritrea was materialized. They came with the Nile Basin Initiative and the Red Sea Basin Initiative. What is that they want in those two arenas that they see are very critical? The Nile Basin Initiative is about water security. For who? For who is the question? Is it for Ethiopia, Sudan? Yeah? Is it for Egypt, Israel, Saudi Arabia? Which country's interest is being defended here? Yeah. The second one is the Red Sea Basin Initiative, once again having control over this very important route. And they're so displeased with China coming to Djibouti. Remember this, China has already entered that a very significant area, that gateway, yeah, between Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. Now they are bitter by that. And if you want to control those 2 basins, yeah, Red Sea Basin and Nile Basin, yeah, you would have to reconfigure maps. Or alternatively, you would have to reconfigure politics altogether. So at this stage, and I'm thinking that they really don't give a damn about Ethiopia's territorial integrity and all that they give a lip service over. Yeah, they wanted the disintegration of Sudan, and for very same reason, I would say. Yeah, and then of course there is another layer to that: resources. We sit on 3 important resource bases. Yeah, the gold, which is the Nubian sheet, and then there is oil and gas in this area as well. Yeah, all the way. And I mean, we can pretend, that America is a congruent state, and therefore, no, America is not congruent. Yeah, American foreign policy is not congruent. It's guided and driven by other who are paying those whatever they call politicians, governors, or whatever you want to call them. They are dearly paid to serve the interests of special interests that are operating behind the scene. Yeah, what are those special interests? They could be foreign, they could be local, but then multinational as well, corporations. Yeah. So if you see this American history and its broad 100, 200 years, it has been dominated by those special interests that are operating behind the curtains. Yeah. And what they are doing today is it reflects that as well. Some are sympathetic to us, others are very much against us. Yeah. And they pay lip service. They're fancy words that they mobilize. Yeah. We are looking for the interests of Ethiopians. We like Ethiopians. We like you guys, and we. No, that's not how it works. There are certain interests operating in the shadows, and they are. Their foreign policy reflects that, with all its contradiction, I might add, because those special interests do not have the same kind of interest either. So you must bear that in mind. Okay. Now, moving to the military, yeah, we don't know what it brought in. Did we check? Did we search it? From where did it fly? I'm assuming it's from Djibouti directly. I wouldn't say that it went to Addis and then flew from Addis to Mahlet. I have no detailed information, but my suspicion is that it flew directly from Djibouti, and then probably also went directly to Djibouti, taking I don't know how many numbers of TPLF old guards and the individuals that they want to take out. Yeah, and of course, Ethiopian government is showing a lot of goodwill. Yeah, and politics of appeasement, and I think that has a lot of cost, but it's looking at the long term. Probably doesn't want to be hampering a peace process. And it's not in the interest of Ethiopia also to undermine the African Union. It's not in the best interest of Ethiopia to shut the door on peace and any peace process. And that in this case, it would mean allowing certain slip ups, yeah, and knowing forward that there might be something that they would take to them or coach them or support them. We all know that the Americans had been embroiled. So we can't pretend all we like, but whatever they have given to to Tigray as aid, it was diverted directly into war-making efforts of the TPLF. I don't know how many percent of it actually was given to the needy people of Tigray, and our brothers and sisters. I'm definitely sure, are not the beneficiaries of this arrangement. But the Ethiopian government knew that. And the Americans were also aware of that. It was going to war-making effort, but that was the purpose. The same way that the fuel was stolen, yeah. 570,000 fuel was stolen in a broad daylight, and then the best explanation they give us was a TPLF stole it, and they just tweeted that. Yeah, that's all. And they knew it was wink, wink, and then TPLF took it, and then. Obviously, we're going to say something bad about it, but you carry on, do what you have to do, and that's the kind of arrangement this is very common in the politics across the world. That's how they organize it. Yeah, they give you the windows, to do some nasty stuff, and then they come out and say something about it, and then it will be the end of it. And that's exactly what they did. So Americans are supporting TPLF materially, diplomatically, politically. Yeah, look at the ways in which Western-controlled medias are broadcasting this conflict. Yeah, the ways in which they present the stories about this conflict from Kenya, whether it's in New York, or from wherever they are, DC. The kind of narrative that they deliver, it reflects American interest. Yeah. It reflects American propaganda. We might talk about, TPLF's riches that they have taken away and looted from Ethiopia, and now they're using it to mobilize this kind of media campaign. I certainly doubt that it was all with TPLF's, strengths. It reflects Western domination and the desire to continue to dominate our region and the continent. because we should not see Ethiopia, Eritrea, the Horn of Africa in isolation. Look at what's happening in Mali, Chad. Look at what's happening in Equatorial Guinea, Burkina Faso. All this region, they are very much interrelated. You must understand this integrated element of this campaign. Yeah, it looks isolated. It looks, the emphasis is on the Horn of Africa, but you know, if you look at other newspapers, they're talking about, even the same newspapers we continue to read, the ways in which they talk about all those areas that reflects Western anxiety. Now, their domination is being challenged. Their imposition on this continent is being severely reduced. Yeah, and now they do not want to lose that, and showing kind of struggle to retain that position is what's reflected in those campaigns, concerted campaigns. Even the UN is embroiled in this because it's been co-opted. We all know that the UN is significantly co-opted in this. Yeah. Yeah, I think I spoke a bit at length. I leave it here. Thank you.